Hi everyone, I'm Abina Kapasi, and this morning I'm going to be talking about last night's news from Franklin Templeton, wherein they voluntarily wound up 6 of their debt funds, and what's going to be the impact of this on unit holders of these funds. Let me recap what exactly are the funds that are being wound up. There's the Franklin Templeton Low Duration Fund, the Dynamic Accrual Fund, the Credit Risk Fund, the Short-Term Income Plan, the Ultra Short-Term Bond Fund, and the India Income Opportunities Fund. So Franklin Templeton has said that because of the illiquidity, that's the lack of liquidity caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, this decision of winding up the funds has been taken, and they have said that it is the only viable option to preserve value for unit holders to ensure orderly and equitable exit for all investors. Now, I'm sure the question on your minds is, what do you mean by winding down these funds? Well, essentially, you could consider it as a lockdown of sorts on these funds. So the fund manager will not be allowed to obviously conduct any transactions in these funds. You as a unit holder will not be allowed to purchase more, which I'm sure any which ways you do not want to. And you will also, more importantly, not be allowed to redeem any of your money lying with these 6 funds. Extremely important. Your SIPs, if you have any going on with these funds, will also automatically stop. And also your STP, which basically means you transfer money every month, a certain sum from these debt funds to an equity fund, will also stop. So if you want to continue investments in those equity funds, you'll probably have to find another source. You'll probably have to do another SIP for those equity funds. Now, the most important question, which may be on all of your minds, what does it mean for my money in these funds? Does it mean that I'm absolutely not going to get it back at all? Well, let me explain. What essentially is going to happen is Franklin Templeton will have to wait for the companies that they have invested in to return the money to them, and then they will start redeeming it and giving you, the unit holders, the money back. Unfortunately, Franklin Templeton had invested in some very illiquid credit securities where the ratings were very low, and this COVID-19 pandemic is something that has, of course, worsened the entire situation. They believe that they would be able to get higher yields by investing in these illiquid low credit securities, but that's clearly not happened, and in such times that may not be the best idea as well, and that's the reason why they've had to do this. So for you as an investor, let's understand how long you'll have to wait. Here, there's something called as a Macaulay duration, which is a bit of a technical term. It basically means the weighted adjusted time period to get cash flows back. So for example, for the low duration fund, the duration is 1.2 years, which means unit holders in that fund would have to wait for 1.2 years to be able to get their money back. Similarly, for the income opportunities fund, it's 3.22 years. So you'll have to wait 3 years and roughly 70 to 80 days to get your money back. You cannot just redeem it when you like. Of course, Franklin is making every effort to try and liquidate securities as and when they can by trying to recover money. But that as well is subject to companies being able to return the money. Markets, of course, if they revive earlier, and hopefully if liquidity comes back in the system, then there's a possibility you may get your money back earlier. For now, all you have to do is wait for some information from, the Franklin Templeton Fund House. They'll give you bits and pieces and nuggets of information as and when they as well are able to get some money back with respect to your redemption. But unfortunately, at this point of time, for Franklin Templeton unit holders of these 6 funds, you'll just have to wait. You do not have access to your money, at least for now.